I want to turn next to Congresswoman Veronica Escobar of Texas, Democrat, who represents not only a border region, but is also on the House Judiciary Committee now. Congresswoman, it's good to have you with us. Are you confident, based on the latest report from Health and Human Services, that you now know the full story about family separation at the border?
Hi, Aaron. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on. I am absolutely not confident. I think that the depth of the horror of family separation is yet unknown. I will tell you, those of us here in El Paso, last summer, we were sounding the alarm to leaders, legislators, reporters, that we knew the numbers that were being shared with the country about the number of families separated, that was an underestimation. And we knew that because the counting started in April of last year. But we knew that in El Paso, the family separation practice began the summer before that, in June or July 2017. So we knew that the numbers were greater, and we kept asking for information. We kept asking for transparency. Of course, none of that happened. I think that it will take the oversight of the Judiciary Committee and other committees, now that the Democrats have control of the House, to really fully understand the magnitude of what happened under the Trump administration family separation policy.
It was almost paradoxical, though, in pushing to end the policy of family separation. It seemed to have the effect of potential immigrants bringing more children to the border, realizing now that the United States would no longer separate families. So how do you prevent that, and what's the remedy here?
That's a great question. And there are two challenges that we face as a country. Number one, the long-term challenge, because I'll tell you, I would agree that the current state of affairs is unsustainable. We have been seeing families seeking asylum, leaving their home countries in the Northern Triangle for at least 4 years. So this is not new. We've got to deal with what's happening in Central America, or this will not stop. And in fact, with climate change and with other challenges, the number of asylum-seeking families will only continue to grow if we continue to sit on our hands. But then there's also the short-term challenges. The Trump administration has chosen to address these short-term challenges with incompetence and cruelty. The Department of Homeland Security is one of the most well-funded federal law enforcement agencies. In fact, it gets more money than all other federal law enforcement agencies combined. It's been unable to be nimble enough and strategic enough to adequately deal with the new reality on the border, which is families seeking asylum. So we really have to tackle this situation on two fronts. And we've got to use compassion, and we've got to recognize that yes, there are many families coming across the southern border. We also need to have some context. I mean, I'd be very curious to see during other surges of asylum-seeking individuals, what have those surges looked like, and how do these numbers compare? And I would be willing to bet that while the numbers are tremendous right now, we have seen far more asylum seekers in the past. But it's about how we deal with it on the front lines. And as you just heard, a wall doesn't do it. A wall doesn't change anything.
Are you going to use your position on the Judiciary Committee, Congresswoman, to push for testimony from Secretary Nielsen?
Absolutely.
When might that happen?
You know, I just got appointed, 48 hours ago. And I will tell you, Chairman Nadler is an incredible leader. And he came to the border. He came to El Paso. He toured the facilities. He and I have had conversations about how we begin to address the situation. And I'll be working closely with him and with other leaders on the committee to explore the best avenues. But we have to get to the bottom of this. Why have we been spending so much money to this agency? Why has it been unable and ill-equipped to deal with the current situation? Why did 2 children die in their custody? And how do we prevent this from happening again?
Congresswoman, we look forward to the answers that you're able to provide to the country on this pressing issue. Congresswoman Veronica Escobar of Texas, Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, our thanks to you.